Hi, welcome to Yin. I am very excited to do this class today. My body's been craving it, and I hope that you are just as excited as I am. I know there's just been a lot going on in all of our worlds, individually, together, and especially today, I feel this need to just be quiet and still and reflective and just to breathe like a big sigh. So that's a lot of sharing. Sometimes it feels weird when I don't have you right here to share it back to me, but I know it's helpful for you as well. So that being said, make sure you have your props, blankets, blocks, pillows, whatever you might need to help support you, maybe some water or tea and some music if you are listening to music. We are actually going to start in a kind of a supported wide-legged child's pose. So let's get it set up and then start the music. If you haven't already, you can start it now too if you'd like. Totally up to you. If you have a bolster, that might work really nice. I'm going to use a couple of blankets. And then you can always rearrange and readjust as you settle in. We'll be in this first pose for probably like 4-ish minutes, so there's plenty of time to get comfortable. So that being said, have your props set up, start your music, shut the door, get rid of the distractions, turn off the lights, whatever you need. And then just start to lower down onto the props, finding some support here for that left side of your face. Getting in a little neck stretch here, if that would feel okay for you. And letting those arms come long, closing the eyes down. And just giving yourself a nice big in breath once you land. Big exhale. Take all the time you need to get comfortable. Just doing our best today to practice with acceptance and grace. Another big inhale and exhale here, starting to soften. Letting your body feel heavy on the support. Parting the lips, letting your jaw just feel heavy. Just slowing the breath down. Trying not to rush through. Maybe finding a slight pause at the top of the breath and the bottom. Soften the shoulders. Settle into that rhythm of breath. It shouldn't be distracting or require too much effort. Just being mindful that you're cycling through full rounds and not rushing. Just take pause here and notice the thoughts that might still be lingering or running through your head. Just notice them, acknowledge them, and send them off. anything else that's distracting right now, noises, a light, a feeling, a spot of tension. Again, noticing it, acknowledging it, sending a nice big breath right to it, coming back to you, noticing the temperature on your skin, noticing any smells, the music or other sounds that you hear, the touch of all of the connection points of your body on the mat. Taste in your mouth. And once you've settled here, let's go ahead and switch the sides of our face just to balance it out. Give yourself a few deep breaths to settle in on this side, and then take some time to set your intention. Maybe a mantra can be really helpful in yin as our thoughts start to wander, to just bring it back to a saying that you can coordinate with your breath. Breathing in, I am. Exhale. Whatever word comes up there, peace, light, love. Just taking this time to be reflective on what you need in your practice today, what you need off the mat. And giving this time a purpose. Nice deep breaths. Let's take 3 more big breaths here. And just bring your neck back to neutral. Just massage that spot there right between the eyes. A place of intuition. And bring the hands under the shoulders and gently just press yourself up. So sitting back on your heels, tuck your chin round through the shoulder blades. Big breaths. Maybe inhale, draw that right ear towards the right shoulder. Exhale, chin towards your chest. Inhale, left ear, left shoulder. Exhale, chin to chest. Bringing the neck back to neutral, coming out of the back bend. Let's just set the blanket to the side. Draw those knees towards each other. Tuck, or maybe come towards table and roll out the ankles here. Point and flex the feet. Whatever you need here, just sort of release through the tops of the feet, the ankles. Then you can keep your toes tucked here or untucked, whatever feels better for you. I'm just going to take a nice shoulder stretch here. So we're going to start by this left hand plants. Inhale, just throw that right arm up to the sky. On the exhale, we're just going to thread it underneath that left side. Left arm can come out long. It can maybe bind behind you if you'd like. Give yourself a nice big breath here to settle in and soften into that right shoulder. Soften the jaw, part your lips. Each exhale, feeling a little bit heavier on that shoulder. Kind of feeling all of the stress that you carry there just starting to melt away. Three more breaths. One more full, unrushed breath. After that exhale, bring that left hand towards eye level. Inhale to gently press yourself up. Go ahead and sit back on your heels as we draw that right hand to the sky. Roll out that wrist, maybe even reach it overhead, getting a little side bend in that right side. Then on an exhale, we're just going to bind that right arm behind us, reaching the fingertips towards the left hip, drawing that right elbow out, away from you. Left ear can fall towards the left shoulder. Close your eyes here and breathe. Heart is lifted. Big breath right there. One more. Go ahead and unbind that right arm. Maybe shake it out a little bit if you need to. And come back towards tabletop. Right hand plants this time. Inhale that left arm up to the sky. That wrist a roll. And then exhale, threading it underneath the right. Finding some heaviness here as you start to settle in on the shoulder. Left temple on the mat. Right arm can come long or bind behind. Nice big breath to settle. Close the eyes down, part the lips. Checking in here on your mind, your thoughts. Giving yourself grace if your mind's running a little bit extra today. Just doing the best you can to bring it back to your breath, your mantra, the physical sensations that you're feeling. Three more breaths. One more full unrushed breath. After that exhale, bring that right hand to eye level. Inhale, slowly starting to sit up, sitting back on the heels as that left hand finds the sky. Reach overhead, roll out that wrist. Take an in breath. On an exhale, bind that arm behind you, reaching towards that right hip. Drawing that left elbow away from you, right ear towards the shoulder. Close the eyes here and breathe. Pulling in that next inhale deep into the heart. It lifts. Exhale. One more breath. Go ahead and release. Rolling out. Whatever you need here. Good. Come toward the tabletop. So hips stacked over knees. Maybe roll out your feet here if you need to. Always being mindful of how each of the various parts of us that sits for a while is feeling. We're going to go into a melting heart pose. So I like to start with a block just because I'm not quite sure where my spine's at. And then I can remove it or remove your blanket or whatever you have here. So set it underneath about belly button towards chest level. And then trying to keep your hips in line with your knees instead of coming out like this, because we're going to start to walk our hands forward. When we do that, your hips are going to want to follow so that your hips are now way over the knees, and that's not going to feel very good. If you can't quite seem to keep the hips above the knees, I'd rather them come back than forward. So start to walk those hands forward. Let your chest find the block or blanket or whatever you have there. Forehead to the mat. Arms are long, about shoulders distance apart. If that's hard on your shoulders, go ahead and just widen the hands, see if that helps. Take a nice big breath here. Inhale. Exhale, soften. Inhale. Exhale, soften more. Breathe here. If you at any point want to feel a deeper version of this in the spine, just remove the prop or lower it. Just take your time to ease into the depth with all of our poses in yin. Always give yourselves at least 5 breaths in those initial sensations to just open up. And then if you feel the need to go deeper, then go deeper. Nice big breaths here.
Check your jaw. The more we start to open up, the more tension just naturally comes. So constantly scanning and softening with the breath. If you have a lot of mobility in your spine and you want to deepen it beyond removing the prop, you can just gently bring your chin to the mat. Your chest might touch the mat here. Only if this feels okay in your spine. Don't push it just to do it. I'm just going to take about 5 more breaths wherever you're at. One more full breath. If you are on your chin, come back to your forehead. And we'll all walk our hands under our shoulders. And on an inhale, gently lift. Use your whole inhale. Come into table and then exhale to cat. Tuck your chin, tuck your tailbone, round through the shoulder blades. Keep holding cat and breathe. If you want to add some gentle movements here, maybe let those hips shift back to child's. And come back up to cat. Just gently, slowly. And after a few of those, couple more breaths in cat, if you want to add in cat-cow or come to a neutral spine and take some side bends or hip stretches. Whatever movements you're adding here, just keep them gentle and unrushed. Take a couple more rounds of breath here. Balance out any movement. Coming to a neutral spine when you're ready. And tabletop. I'm going to take a gentle down dog here. So just tuck the toes, press those hips up. You can even keep a little bend here to the knees just to keep it a little bit more gentle. Release the neck. Just resetting in the spine here a bit. Take a cleansing breath. Big inhale. Exhale, release it. I'm going to start to walk the hands back to your feet. We're going to take a dangle pose here. So let's widen the feet a little bit. Heel toe them a little wider. Give your knees a bend. And just fold it down like your neck. Let your neck release. Your arms can just hang, or if you like, ragdoll. If you tend to get lightheaded when you are in this head below heart dangling pose, bring your forearms just above the knees. Elevate the head just enough. Try, if you can, to release the neck. And just breathe there. Nice deep breaths. Check on your jaw, part your lips. Take 3 more breaths here. On that next exhale, go ahead and release your arms. Come towards a half lift, and then we're just going to start to squat down. So let those toes come out, heels in slightly, and just coming down towards your yogi squat. Shift around here as you need to. We won't be here long. If you do want to sit on a block, you certainly can. And just let your hands can support you. Chin can drop towards your chest. Few breaths here. Two more. Soften the jaw. Let your hands support you as you find your seat. Then we're going to find a shoelace pose. So we're going to move a little bit more into the hips and the hamstrings, and a little bit of the side body in our next series of poses. So let's let that right leg come long, cross that left foot over, and then bend that right knee. Your knees do not have to be stacked here. Just find a version of this that is accessible to you. And then see if you can just walk the feet apart or away from you a little bit too. So if you want to be more crisscross applesauce or have that left ankle kind of resting on that right knee or just outside of it so it's not uncomfortable for the knee, you're still going to get the benefits in the hips. If you can bring them a little bit more stacked, then do that. Sit bones grounding down here. You can stack up your blocks or create whatever props here you might like. Then when you're ready, start to fold it forward, stopping where you start to feel the initial sensations. Not where you can ultimately get to, but just where you start to feel those sensations. Resting there for a bit. Maybe resting your forehead on the blocks if you have them. Try to just release the shoulders. Taking a nice big inhale and carry that breath all the way from the base of the spine, all the way up to the crown of your head. Exhale, release it through the mouth, softening in the shoulders and the jaw. Slow the breath, quiet the mind. Use your mantra. Just over halfway. 3 more big breaths here. And when you're ready, on an inhale, slowly lift. Use your whole in-breath here to lift. Letting out that exhale and taking a breath once lifted. Let your hand support you as you gently ease out of that. Let that left leg come long. The right foot's just going to rest just to the inside on that left thigh. Left toes can just relax. Check to make sure that your knee, this left knee is feeling supported. And if you need a blanket or anything under there, put it there. And then we are just going to take a half butterfly pose. So if you want, you can take some blocks, put them on either side of that left knee. Maybe a blanket to rest on top or a bolster. Get comfy here. And then just sort of pivot your torso towards that left leg and fold over onto your props. Lowering them if you need to find a little bit more depth or sensation in that hamstring. Your neck can hang. Big inhale here. Exhale, soften. Halfway through, if you wanted to lower any of the props, or just hang. Reminder that often the poses will start to feel just a little louder as the depth goes further, time goes on. Recognize the difference between the discomfort and pain. Do your best to just deepen the breath and breathe through discomfort. Set aside our egos and our practice and always, always backing out if it's too much or if there's pain. Our bodies have carried a whole lot of tension this past year. There's always tension and stress there, but through COVID, I know it's just been so much more. All the things that each of us are juggling, multitasking and surviving. So in these breaths, in our yin practice, really let yourself soften. Let it melt off. While we all carry very different things to the mat, we collectively carry 2020 with us. 3 more breaths here. On your next inhale, gently come up, nice and slowly. Take an exhale once lifted. Bring your torso back to center. And if we're going to take a Cleopatra pose, so keep your legs how they are. And if you have that block still on the inside of the knee or the outside, keep it there, maybe starting at that highest level or the middle level, resting your elbow on it. your hand or your head on your hand, checking on that left knee. Toes can relax. And we're just going to take this right arm up overhead. Just let it hang there. If that gets to be too much, you can even just rest that arm on that right thigh. Let it hang there. You're still going to get that side bend. Nice big breath here. Soften the jaw, close the eyes down. Inhale, carrying that breath up that right side body. Feel the ribs expand, that space between them with the breath. Sigh out and exhale. Lowering or removing any props as you have the desire to go deeper, if at all. Just make sure that you can still take a full breath. Over halfway. Check on that left shoulder too and make sure you don't feel like you're tensing right there. Just a few more breaths. Two more. On your next inhale, we're going to rise slowly. Let that right hand come up first, and then slowly come out of that side bend. Take a breath once you're lifted. And just switch sides here. Let's bring that left leg back towards the middle of the mat. Right leg will cross over, bending that left knee. And stacking here how it feels best for you. Whether that right knee is stacked closer to the left knee or that right knee is towards the more towards the right foot, or right foot's on top of the left knee. There we go. That's what I was trying to say. So find what feels good here. Sit bones ground down. Whatever props you need to support you. Then when you're ready, on an exhale, let yourself start to fold it down, stopping at those initial sensations. And giving yourself a nice big breath to soften and release into the pose. Part the lips. Exhale into the shoulders. Just about halfway. Check your jaw and your shoulders. Let yourself feel really heavy on that next exhale. 3 more big breaths here. Use your next inhale. Slowly lift, take your time. Letting out the exhale once lifted and taking a full breath. And let your hands support you from behind. Gently unwind that right leg long. Right toes can just relax here. Left foot is plugged into the inside of the right thigh. Make sure that right knee feels supported. Grabbing your support, your blocks and blanket on either side of the knee, just setting up here for our half butterfly. And then when you're ready, pivoting your torso towards that right leg and folding down. Adjusting the props as you need to, and then once you land, giving yourself a nice big breath to settle. Another big breath to feel heavy in the shoulders and the jaw. Pausing here to notice where you're holding the tension. Just over halfway. Slow the breath. Three more breaths here. When you're ready, on an inhale, slowly lift. Exhale. Take a breath. And then bringing a block to the inside or outside of that right knee. Bring that right elbow to rest on the block, head and hand. Taking our Cleopatra on this side. Let that left arm start to come up overhead. Find a place to rest. Or it can rest on your lap. Big breath to settle in. Close the eyes, part the lips. Slow the breath, carrying it up that left side body, expanding between the ribs. Just over halfway. Couple more breaths here. One more full breath. Next inhale, left hand leads. So you lift. Exhale. Take a breath. That left leg come out. Just shake it out. I'm gonna shake out the legs. Roll out the ankles. We're gonna take a butterfly pose now. So draw the soles of the feet together. Maybe sitting up on a blanket to elevate the hips. Nice diamond shape here between my pelvis and my feet. My feet aren't all the way up. Grabbing your props, setting up. When you're ready, exhale to fold it forward. Shifting around as you need to in order to settle in. Taking a nice deep breath once you land. Soften the jaw, heavy in the shoulders. Visualize the breath here, carrying it from the base of the spine. Inhale slowly up the spine. traveling all the way up. Exhale, let it go. As you soften a little bit more. Finding depth in the pose, greater depth in the pose if you'd like. We have a lot of time here, so don't feel like you have to rush. Just over halfway. Nice deep breaths, feeling the rise and fall as you breathe. Three more breaths here. Taking your time on that next inhale, slowly lift it back up. Give your head plenty of time to come back up above your heart. Exhale. Soften the shoulders. Take a breath. Just draw those knees in. Feet towards you, wrapping the arms around those shins. Big hug here. Tuck your chin. Just a seated child's pose for a moment. Just feel that warm embrace. The hugs we so badly need and greatly miss. Just feel that hug here. Big inhale. Release it. And when you're ready, just gently come out of that. We're going to make our way towards our back. Make sure you bring a block with you to have at hands reach, or arms reach, I should say. Grab a drink of water if you'd like. And just gently find your back. We're going to take a reclined twist, a resting twist here. Let's cross that left leg over the right. Bump that right hip under. And let those knees start to fall towards that right side. Maybe taking a block or blanket just to help support that, the inside of this top knee. Just to start the twist there. Feeling those initial sensations. breathing there for a bit and then letting yourself deepen. You can keep your head neutral. You can look over that opposite shoulder. Go ahead and cactus the arms. Close the eyes down. Part the lips. Take a big settling breath here. And scan for tension. Your jaw, your shoulders, especially that right shoulder. Going down your side body, that outer right hip. Do you feel like you're holding yourself up there? Checking the legs. Big inhale. Exhale into the twist. Breathe in that new breath. Exhale, release the old one. Let's take 3 more big breaths here. 3 more. Just pause after that next exhale and gently inhale as you bring your neck back to neutral. And slowly untwist. Take a breath, uncross that knee, just be neutral. And then cross that right knee over the left, bumping that left hip under as you just gently start to let the knees fall to the left side. Again, using a blocker blanket to start, just to support. Arms can cactus, look over that right shoulder. Close the eyes down, part the lips. Draw in breath. Exhale and soften. Find the tension. Check the shoulders. Let them feel heavy. Just slowly scanning the rest of the body. Slowing the breath. Just take a cleansing breath in the twist. Inhale that new. Exhale, release through the mouth, the old. 3 more big breaths. Pausing after the next exhale. And gently inhale as you bring your neck back to neutral. Slowly unwind. Uncross that knee, just taking a breath here. Knees are bent, hips distance apart. Bring those feet a little closer so you can touch the heels. Taking a supported bridge here, so grab your block. Inhale as you press your feet into the mat, lift the hips just enough to get the block placed on that low level or medium level, right at the base of the spine, as low as you can go there. Tuck the shoulders a little bit, maybe let those arms come long. Give yourself a big breath here, close the eyes. Exhale, heavy in the shoulders. You can let your legs come long eventually if you'd like, or maybe let the knees fall together, just step the feet a little wider. Arms can come overhead if that would feel good. Nice and heavy in the hips. Increasing the height of the block if you want to feel it a little deeper. See if you can slow the breath a little bit more or pause a little longer at the top or bottom. Letting yourself have these final moments in the practice, so bringing it back to the breath, go back to the mantra or intention. 3 more full breaths here. If you have anything extended, go ahead and bring it back into where we started. And on the next inhale, just gently lift the hips, pull out the block, and slowly come down from the top of the spine to the bottom. Let that spine neutralize. Maybe walk the feet towards the bottom of the mat just a little. Then we're just going to windshield wiper a couple of times on each side. Nice and slowly, keeping those eyes drawn. And once you're balanced there, let's hug everything in. Draw that low back off the mat. Chin towards your knees if that feels okay. Take a breath or two here. And then when you're ready to find Shavasana, make your way there. Let those legs come long. Ankles fall open. Arms along your sides. Go ahead and give your shoulders a slight tuck. Eyes are closed. Mouth is parted. Take a nice big inhale through the nose. Sigh out that breath as the shoulders feel heavy. And letting your breath return to its natural rhythm. No more thought or effort. Letting yourself rest here. Start to deepen the breath. Gently bringing awareness back by moving your fingers and toes, nodding your head from side to side. When you're ready on an inhale, draw those arms up overhead, full body stretch. Exhale to release it. Let's bring that right hand to the belly, left hand to the heart. Let's take a moment here, feeling how good it feels to be alive. Feel the rise and fall with each beautiful breath. Feel that amazing beating heart. Just picturing the light right now that's just shining from you. Taking a nice big inhale here, let yourself smile. Exhale, release. Bend your feet, bring your feet to the mat. Just roll over onto your side, finding your fetal pose here for a moment. Pausing here for a moment of gratitude. And when you're ready, just slowly come up to a seat. Once you're there, once you're seated, let's bring our hands to heart. Tuck the chin, sitting up nice and straight through the spine. Big inhale. Full exhale. Doing the best you can to grab this feeling of peace and calm and light, and taking it with you off of the mat into your days ahead, into every thought, word, and interaction, and just doing the best you can. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me and letting me share mine with you. Have such a great day. Namaste. Thank you. See you soon.